I had nothing else to...
Alright, so I'll need a way of handling that. And quite frankly, I'd like it to be sooner than later.
Good evening, Edgar.
Is that the sanctuary crypt in the hillside?
Is that the sanctuary crypt in the hillside?
That's right. Must be the oldest crypt in the cemetery.
Is there a way inside?
Not that I know of. I've never been in there. I don't think it's been used for centuries. There's a local legend that a tunnel runs into the crypt from the church. An old escape route. But if it's real, I've never found it.
What's that carving in the front?
What's that carving on the front of the sanctuary crypt?
Beats me. Just a fancy schmancy decoration, I assumed. But now that you mention it, I do think I've seen that pattern somewhere before.
I best...
Goodbye.
Yeah, so like I know about the pattern, I know how to make it happen.
If the tolling of a bell was the third sign of ghostly activity, it was time to ring in the witching hour.
That was a fairly obscure thing.
A bell! A chill in the air. Flickering lights. The tolling of the bell. Do you think it's... Ghost! Run for your life! Start, you blasted car! Why are we not moving, Musket? Because out of that long line of automobiles on Delancey Street, you decided to steal something less reliable than a politician's promise! Start, you rust bucket! It started, Musket. There we go. And now, we floor it. We crashed, Musket. I can see that we crashed, Morris. Well, there's only one thing we can do. What's that, boss? Run for our lives!
That was a pretty obscure one. It'd be nice if it was maybe, I don't know, some bell. Can see a bell there or something.
I picked up the starter crank from the jalopy seat. I didn't need to drive the car. Walking into the church, I was presented with the sight of the stained glass window illuminated beautifully by the lighthouse beam. They lined up perfectly. I didn't need any more rum. It was the metal crank from the Rum Runner's jalopy, the type used to start a motor.
Alright, so now that that's there... Supposedly there's something running from the church to the crypt. I need to start entering in the other side, so I don't have to walk all this way.
I couldn't see any way to open the crypt door. Not a doorknob, whoever sealed this up intended to seal it up for good. The window is even more beautiful in person, adorning the altar below it like a crown. And that's when I noticed something. Below the window was a cross-shaped indentation in the wood that made me think something was missing. Taking the book, I realized it was an old Bible, with a thicker layer of dust than a nudist's summer wardrobe. It was a leather-bound Bible that was falling apart at the spine.
Hey, Bub, got you something.
Is this the Bible you've been looking for?
My word! That it is, my boy! Oh, where did you find it?
Fallen down the side of a cabinet back in St. Juniper's Church.
People do say they find faith in the most unexpected places, but down the side of furniture is certainly one of the most common. I'm most indebted to you. Is there anything I can give you to show my appreciation?
Actually, I did have my eye on that crucifix you're wearing.
Ah, are you looking for spiritual guidance, my child?
Absolutely. Particularly if it guides me to something hidden in St. Juniper's Church.
Then I shall give it to you with my deepest thanks. Let it guide you to where you want to go.
So, like, could he remove all his clothes, or is the crucifix just a special thing?
What a relief! My Bible returned to me. Why, if I hadn't gotten it back, we would have had to cancel the wedding.
The crucifix slid smoothly into the indentation, like the final piece in a jigsaw puzzle. Pressing the button, I noticed something had changed in the stained glass window. Whatever mechanical process it used was a mystery to me, but pressing the button caused the panes of glass to tilt, ever so slightly, so that the...
Alright. Alright, so I want the yellow ones in the center. So, slide you in. Slide you in. Alright, you're all correct. You're all correct. You're all correct. Let's see. Hand that one over to you. Hand it back.
As soon as the plates in the stained glass window clicked into place, forming a translucent cross at the center, I heard a rumble behind me. The sound of antique machinery somewhere beneath the stone floor.
Those are pretty fun puzzles.
The uneven stone staircase descended beneath the church into a dark, narrow tunnel.
hatches if need be.
The passageway twisted far away from the church, finally emerging in a round room lit only by a pale shaft of moonlight filtering through a narrow hole above. Tombs surrounded me in solemn silence. I had found the sanctuary crypt. The brickwork was crumbling, and although I couldn't dislodge it with my bare hands, I could tell it wouldn't take much force to break through. I need... Nope. That didn't work. That wasn't go... As I stepped across the stone threshold of the crypt, it struck me that I was the first person to do so in decades. Footsteps that Yardley never had the chance to make.
Hey, Edgar. Check it out. Edgar.
Good evening, Edgar.
Edgar,
Ah,
look.
I found a way into the sanctuary crypt.
you got yourself in there? I thought that place was closed up tighter than a jar of pickles dipped in super glue.
I certainly did. The pattern on the entrance was a clue to a secret passage from the church.
Well, I'm envious, Murphy. That's the kind of place I can only dream of ending up.
A dank old crypt?
For some, but I see a nice, quiet atmosphere. Plenty of leg room, no nosy neighbors to interrupt your rest. Those skeletons in there don't know how good they have it. It's only us living folk who can actually appreciate it. In my opinion, death's wasted on the dead.
I best be running along.
Goodbye.
That didn't work. I couldn't do... That wasn't going to...
Was this always activated? Actually, was it?
Good evening, Father Foskett.
Hello again, my child.
Do you know anything about the Sanctuary Crypt?
Do you know anything about the sanctuary crypt?
Oh, I certainly do. History is a bit of a passion of mine. When Devil's Rock was first colonized, the only inhabitants were the monks of the church and the soldiers of the fort. The monks provided luxuries like woven blankets, carved utensils, and certain brewed drinks. In return, the fort defended the monks from raids.
By pirates?
Yes, but also by the European powers in the Caribbean. Their final line of defense was a hidden escape tunnel. According to legend, the fort had a beacon atop its tallest tower. If it was lit, the light would shine through the church's rose window, and the monks could open a secret passage and retreat to safety.
I know.
We three kings of Jackson Square, selling stockings a nickel a pair.
Oh, how drastic, no elastic, not very safe to wear. I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from.
Hymns and hiccups, hear an unusual hymn. Found the secret passage.
I found the secret passage under St. Juniper's, the tunnel leading to the sanctuary crypt.
The rumors were true? An escape tunnel? Well, I'll be. All those years, right under my feet. Makes you wonder if the other stories are true as well.
What other stories?
That the first monks came to the island to imprison... Actually, never mind. I don't think I should be talking about that. I'm already up to my neck in the demonic.
I bet...
May God...
Alright, unfortunately that doesn't help me very much.
Do you mind if I borrow this shovel?
Oh, go right ahead. I already dug up those naughty thorns. It's funny, even when things are dead, they can still cause trouble. Just look at us ghosts.
I suppose this could help me with the sanctuary.
I needed to know what was on the other side of that wall. And this was a situation that called for some straightforward destruction. I examined the skeleton for clues, but only his key seemed of any value. You're free now, Yardley. He can't keep you imprisoned anymore.
So is Yardley's spirit gonna think, oh,
So you are the mortal who is trying to find the lost treasure of Belmore Manor before me.
Rackham.
You know who I am. Surely you must also know that you have started down a foolish path. It will only end in your death, Murphy McCallan.
what you've done to Abigail cannot be allowed to continue.
What you've done to Abigail Belmore cannot be allowed to continue.
Abigail Belmore is dead, as will you be, if you continue this pathetic charade.
She deserves to be free, just like all the ghosts of the manor.
Don't let it be said I didn't warn you. If you're so interested in being friends with the dead, perhaps it's time you joined them. Just as Yardley Belmore was entombed alive, so shall you be.
Rackham's spell had transported me somewhere I couldn't immediately place. I was lying down, my arms pinned to the side of me, my hands only able to feel the grain of the wooden boards to the sides and above and below me. And then I heard the noise, something thudding on the boards above me. That's when I realized I was being buried alive. There wasn't room. The coffin was much too thick to cut my way out of with a knife.
Let's see, matches?
That wasn't going to help me escape.
Let's see.
That wasn't going.
This.
I fumbled in my pockets and took out the screw jack, bracing it between the floor and the lid. With each crank, the pressure grew and grew, until finally. Hey! Could you get me out of here?
Murphy? What are you doing down there?
Trying to not be down here.
I'll go fetch a ladder. Don't go anywhere.
Where do you think I could go? Before I'd even reached the top of the ladder, Edgar had fled to the safety of his shack, far away from the grave where he'd inadvertently tried to bury me. But one good thing had come out of it. Now I had Yardley's key.
The actor's key, find Yardley's key. It's kind of funny, he's like the last person I No, he was the second one.
Good evening, Edgar.
Ah!
Can you believe you almost buried me alive?
Can you believe you almost buried me alive?
If anybody asks you, that never happened. One word of this gets out, and I'll never be allowed near a coffin again.
I best be running along.
Goodbye.
Alright, so I think this whole area is, like, solved. I got the actor's key, that's really all I need. Still have the shovel. I no longer have that crank thing. So finally that is used and is no longer a factor in anything ever again. And when it comes to the art style between this and Slender Threads, I think I like Slender Threads just a bit more. I like that the camera angle allows for the environment to be more dynamic than Slender Threads. And, the kind of New Orleans style architecture is, I guess, a bit more visually interesting than the, Anytown Americana of Slender Threads. But I think the character art style, the really thin lines and every line being like the same weight is a bit dull. Like like, the character designs themselves are usually pretty fine, but the art style...
I thought I'd keep that to my...
Yeah, so I need... Oh, let's see... Again, like, this is a you look upon it, you know, thing. It's
The
not
billiard
like,
table was already occupied.
It's not like a you interact with it things that you need like an item. And when you talk to him, there's nothing you can do prior to saying, yeah, I'll do a rematch, and then, like, you know, failing that. Maybe there's some, you know, grease somewhere in these rooms. Like, I hypothetically could get more dry ice.
I turned the tap, but the tank was all out of gas.
Or I guess I can't. I've used all the dry ice I'll ever need.
The machine looked ready to operate. All it needed was a blast from the tanks.
Alright, nothing else here. So, like, came in, like, you know, there's no, like, puppet I can grab in here and, like, you know, wave around for the guy in the ferry. I guess not. I'll talk to him afterwards. Very rummage through there. I do like how these rooms have their own theme, you know? Well, it's kind of funny, this guy doesn't seem to have like a specialty, you know? There's like chemistry, there's biology, astronomy, even you know, engineering and electricity. He is just really into science, no matter the field. Alright, let's talk to this little shit.
Hello, Sebastian.
Shouldn't you be getting ready for the wedding?
Shouldn't you be getting ready for the wedding?
I'm not the page boy anymore. I've been demoted.
How did that happen?
Well, before I started playing with this paddle ball, I found a marble in one of the bedrooms. A super-sized one, perfect for bombing.
Whose bedroom?
One of the guest rooms. Mr. Beaumont's, I think. He's certainly lost his marbles.
What did you do with it?
Like my dad taught me, I'm keeping Mum on that one. All I'm going to say is that it was a big mix-up. Mrs. Craddock must have had her sense of humour surgically removed.
So you're good with that paddle ball, huh?
So, you think you're good with that paddle ball, huh?
Better than you'll ever be. Just name a trick and I can do it.
With your eyes
Bet
closed.
you can't do the paddle ball with your eyes closed.
Look and learn.
I didn't want to
Not the furnishing, man.
With Sebastian's eyes closed, I took out my scissors, and when the timing was right, snipped.
Hey, what happened to my paddle ball?
The ball just snapped right off there. Maybe you need to practice a bit more. With any other child, I'd feel guilty. With Sebastian, it felt like evening out the cosmic balance.
I bet Mallory was behind this.
I picked up the red rubber ball I'd cut from the paddle ball. It looked like a clown's nose.
Alright, I'll talk to her first since he mentioned her.
Hello again, Mrs. Craddock.
Heard you had a run-in with Sebastian and his marbles.
I heard you had a run-in with Sebastian Bach and his marbles.
Oh, goodness gracious. You must be talking about the marble he found in Mr. Beaumont's chambers, I presume.
That's right. What happened to it?
Well, that little deviant was supposed to be making himself useful as a page boy by watching over Mrs. Pritchett, our most elderly guest. Instead, with a single flick, Sebastian managed to bounce his marble off the skirting board, ricochet it off the chandelier, and land it right on top of Mrs. Pritchett's hairpiece.
Well, kids will be kids, I suppose. As long as you got the marble back.
It wasn't a marble at all. It was Mr. Beaumont's glass eye. And you know what he said? He said he was keeping an eye on her like he was told.
He didn't invite Captain Moot.
I heard you didn't send a wedding invitation to Captain Moot.
Well, of course he didn't receive an invitation. He was dismissed from his employment weeks before the wedding for crashing the flagship of the Belmore fleet.
He's very upset about it. Don't years of service outweigh one accident?
Accident? I suppose you never learned exactly why he crashed the ship, did you?
Actually, no, I didn't.
We discovered that Captain Moot used to invite ladies up to the bridge after hours. Dozens of ladies over the years. He'd take them on moonlit cruises around the island and, goodness gracious me, paint them with no clothes on. Draped over the ship's wheel, stretched out in the rigging, dangling from the anchor. Apparently, he must have gotten a bit too carried away with his brushstrokes on the final painting, because he didn't see the rocks the ship crashed into.
Ah, that would certainly be distracting.
Indeed.
Well,
I'll leave you to get on with your...
How thankful.
alright, so do I need to find that glass eye? Like... Because the rubber ball, what I'm thinking is for the billiards, right? Like, that's super bouncy, so I could get, like, more than 7 bounces in.
Welcome back.
I have some more questions.
Ask away.
Are you the one people in the house call the Parlor Witch?
Are you the one people in the house call the Parlor Witch?
I've heard that they do. The Belmore brothers approached me to help research the coffin stone. The brothers did everything they could to understand it. A never-ending investigation into science and the supernatural, ranging from the Atlantic to the Pacific. To my deep regret, I was never able to find a way to destroy the stone's power. With no way to destroy it, the only option was to lock it away where no one could find it.
In the vault beneath the house?
That's right. Deep below the house, within a labyrinth of caves, where we pray no one finds it.
Last time I messed around with this kind of thing, I ended up releasing an evil spirit.
The last time I messed around with this kind of thing, I ended up releasing an evil spirit.
Yes, I sensed what happened with Dr. Moray. I'm afraid that man was lured in by theatrics and promises of power he never actually held.
It looked like he had powers to me.
Rackham's spirit had been reaching out for someone he could dupe. But Rackham was always the puppeteer. Moray had no powers whatsoever, except for those manifested by Rackham.
Does Rackham have powers of his own?
Does Rackham have powers of his own?
I'm afraid he does, Murphy. Although I discovered that far too late, to our great cost. I like to think of myself as knowledgeable about magic, but even I'm not sure what twisted powers Rackham wielded to project himself outside of the house. He seems to have power over visions and nightmares, and use that to put his plan into action.
Is it voodoo?
No.
But the summoning spell that I cast, that seemed like voodoo.
The manuscript you carry in your pocket is far older than the origins of voodoo in this region. It is a real spell. The icons of voodoo that adorn it are merely a distraction. I suspect Rackham has a knowledge of magic far older.
So it's a forgery?
More something in disguise.
Why couldn't he get Dr. Moray to cast?
Why couldn't he get Dr. Moray to cast the summoning spell?
A wise question. Magic doesn't work equally for everyone. Each spell depends on the person who casts it. Some spells work only for someone whose heart believes. Others work only for the person who rightfully owns the talisman. Some spells, no matter how much is invested in them, simply don't work at all. Moray was the bait, but Rackham needed someone more attuned to actually complete the spell.
And so some bumfuck auditor was more tuned.
I traded Dr. Moray for the Grigri that enabled the summoning spell.
No, Murphy. Moray may have been the broker, but you cast your trade into his spirit pool. You traded Rackham for the Grigri, the same Grigri that unleashed that terrible spell on Abigail.
I should get back to trying to open the vault.
May fate be in your favor, Murphy.
Well, no marbles, and I can't, like, look around and explore for one. And quite frankly, I'm not entirely sure that's the person she was talking about.
I had an idea. One that required skill, subtlety, and finesse. Or at least the ability to hurl a billiard ball through an open doorway. Yoink!
Did you just touch the table?
Absolutely not.
Ow! Who threw that?
Couldn't just walk around him and toss it. You had to toss it when, or, whatever.
Hello again, Captain Pemberley.
Welcome back, Captain McCallum.
I'd like a rematch at English billiard.
Thinking you... I don't believe it. I've never seen 14s before. You must have arms like the coupling rods on a steam train.
A blessing and a curse, as I've discovered more than once to my own cost. But I don't like to boast. Does this mean I win the trophy?
I'm afraid it does, but you need to bring it back next Wednesday for the potluck. We'll have a rematch then.
It's kind of funny how often point-and-click protagonists just have to be assholes to everyone else. Like, just cheating at this so he can grab
With
the
my
trophy.
newfound title as Club Billiards champion, it was time to claim my trophy.
Like, this guy's gonna discover that's a rubber ball, and he's gonna be fucking pissed.
Good evening, Captain Moot.
If you say so.
Found out, why you didn't get your invitation.
I found out why Mrs. Craddock rescinded your invitation. You were caught painting naked ladies on the ship's bridge. That's why you crashed the ship.
Maybe that's true, but you think she'd have been more understanding about the whole thing?
Why's that?
She was the naked lady I was painting when we crashed.
Barely afloat, learn about art. I'm the new champ.
I'm the club's new champion billiards player.
Did you beat old Pemberley?
Beginner's luck, I suppose.
Ha! Looks like all those days at the base haven't paid off, Gifford. Boy, you'll have to have a party to celebrate.
Sure, Moot. Just make sure to get an invitation so you don't have to crash the party. We all know how much you enjoy crashing things.
I better be.
So long.
I decided to leave Captain Pemberley to his billiards.
And tell him about Bill.
Hello again, Felix.
Hello again, sir.
I'm the champion.
Felix, I'm the new billiards champion of the Captain's Club.
You beat Captain Pemberley?
I certainly did.
Oh, thank goodness. Maybe he'll have a rest from it for a little bit. We haven't been able to pry him away from that table for months. I've been hiding those billiard balls, one a week since August. The guy won't give it up. It's cost the club a fortune in billiard chalk.
I best be casting off.
Farewell, Captain.
Alright, well, still can't resolve this, but since I have a cannonball now, disguised as a trophy, might as well hop in here, see if anything
Murphy,
happens.
the Devil's Rock Devil's up to his old tricks again.
Oh no, what's he done this time?
I heard that he's committed arson of the Spirit Queen riverboat, practiced black magic, vandalized one of the cemetery's crypts, cavorted with rum runners, operated a lighthouse without proper training, launched fireworks without a permit. Know anything about it?
Can't say that I do.
The Devil's Rock Devil continues to elude us.
Technically, that arson, wasn't my fault. It's just something that happened, you know? I have a gunpowder, right? Alright, gunpowder in here.
I'd already poured.
Alright, and
I
this.
loaded the billiards trophy into the cannon. Spherical and solid metal. It was the perfect improvised cannonball. I packed in the gunpowder and makeshift cannonball. Now there were just 2 steps remaining. Aim and fire. Whoa!
Oh, guess I'm not doing that again.
The cannon looked like it might still work. If it did, I knew from that evening's previous experience with firearms that 5 steps were required. Gunpowder, shot, ramrod, aim, fire. The cannon looked like it might still work.
Do I have to light it?
I was only going to be able to fire this cannon once, and I needed to make sure it was aimed right. The rocky coastline all looked the same. I needed a way to make a target. With so many coves and caves along the coast, it was difficult to make out what was what.
I do like that the music in these rooms is different. Like this one, you know, kind of circus, showman-y music. And this one, you know, has very Explorer vibe music. This one's kind of more subtle and meticulous. Like different musics for the different vibes of the room. That's a cool detail, you know?
Looking through the telescope, all I could see was a blur. I soon realized why. A telescope without a lens wasn't going to be much use.
Is there anything I can use as a lens? Would you sell a lens?
Good evening, Mr. Crumb.
How can I help you?
Are these fossils for sale?
Are these fossils for sale?
Goodness me, you're the second person today to ask me about them.
Let me guess. The first one was a gentleman called Muffy?
I didn't catch his name, but he pressed his face up against the cabinet so hard he left nose prints on the glass. Wouldn't stop asking questions about where I found them. Seemed to think they were from here on the island. Didn't have the heart to tell him I brought them all back from a vacation in Grimstone, Arizona. Total time waster. Who was he anyway? Friend of yours?
Not exactly. His name is Muffy Carlyle.
Of the Carlyle Provincial Accounts and Joint Stock Corporation?
That's him.
You mean to tell me one of the richest men in the country was in my store? My store. Selling the finest watches, necklaces, jewelry, and rings? And all he wanted to talk about was rocks and bones? Excuse me. I feel a little faint.
Do you think I can buy a fossil?
Do you think I could buy a fossil?
You certainly can, if you can afford it.
Could I take it on account?
On account of what?
On account of me having no money.
I think I'll just look around for now.
I think I'll just look around for now.
I'm here if you need me.
The mill incorporated a wooden water wheel. The mill incorporated a wooden water wheel that turned in the current of the water channel, presumably driving some kind of gear inside. Despite its obvious age, the water wheel was still turning. I couldn't get near it, and that was probably a good thing if I didn't want to get dragged under by the current.
There's a chicken.
Doris! Cluck, cluck, cluck. Bark.
Alright, she has nothing new to say. Yeah, this one has been the biggest mystery, because outside of the feather, like, I mean, I did get, like, this from it, I think, but...
Each of the electric cables in the room emanated from a metal panel by the upstairs door.
Is there anything I might want to do with that?
The electrical safety of the panel looked questionable. I wasn't going to touch it. The saw blades were rusted, dull, and would surely have precipitated the need for a tetanus shot. If I touched the grease with my bare hands, I'd be spending hours trying to wash it off.
There we go. Grease,
I needed to think of something else. I needed to...
Bare hands... I don't think I have anything else I can collect it.
A large... Lubricating the beam so it rotated smoothly was a thick glob of grease. It was a soda bottle I'd filled up with water. I could...
Well, great, now I know what to do, but, like, did I fuck myself over by filling this up? Sure, let's, do that. This?
Nope.
This?
It was a car horn from the Rum Runners jalopy.
Alright, maybe I can, use that on, the play. Speedrun strats.
Perhaps it was the piratical air that brought to mind the mimicry skills of a parrot. If Squawkin' Hawkins could do it, maybe I could give it a try.
You're speaking over my lines. I'm not speaking over your lines. You're adding in lines that weren't in the script.
That seemed to get one of the puppeteers riled up. I wondered if I could do the same for the other. That seemed to get... That seemed to get one... That seemed... That didn't...
Can I use a horn?
That wasn't going...
Can I collect it in this?
Using the cotton flag, I scooped up some of the gloppy grease.
Sure, video game. Whatever you say. Wait. There was someone there. Like a shadow.
Using the flag soaked in grease, I began to oil the automaton's joints.
Put the coin.
I placed the coin back in the automaton's hand and watched. The cap of the scroll case opened and revealed something inside.
Well, there's life in the old thing yet. Gives us all hope, doesn't it?
I picked up the piece of paper that had fallen from the statue. Unrolling it, I discovered it was a death certificate, all filled in except for one key piece of information. The name was missing. It was certainly a clue, but who did it belong to?
Alright, certificate that someone died on the 1st of April, 1898. was buried at St. Juniper's Church on 31st day of March, 1898. Alright, I guess, witness Cecil Belmore and Edgar Kettle.
I thought I'd leave.
Really? Like...
Does this death certificate mean anything to you? The name hasn't been filled in, but it says you were the Undertaker.
Of course I was. Nobody else on the island would do it, now would they?
I was wondering if you remembered who it was you buried.
That was over 30 years ago. You know how many bodies I've buried in my career? I couldn't tell one corpse from the other. This may surprise you, but I don't get that attached to them. They don't make for very stimulating conversation.
Is there any way I could find out who it was?
Well, you've got the date they were buried. Maybe there was an obituary.
Thank you.
Alright, I'm gonna guess I want to go to the reporter's area.
As I returned to the docks, I realized that Dead Nettle's usual smell of sea breeze and rotting fish had been replaced by something far more pleasant. The smoky scent of a fish I thought I recognized.
Anything to report?
I'm keeping my eyes open. That didn't work. Can I take a look in the filing cabinets?
Sorry, McAllen. Employees only. And we're a one-woman operation here these days.
I'm trying to track a burial down, and I think the date might match up with an old edition of the newspaper.
I hear you. Why don't you write up your request and lodge it with our archival department?
Where's the archival department?
In any trash can you can find. Hey!
Sorry.
Well, might as well talk to Ned.
Hello again, Mac. I hope you don't mind, but you left your fish hanging there. No sense in letting a fish that size go to waste. I've started cooking it up. It'll be the tastiest fish this side of the Mississippi. We can tuck in as soon as it's cooked.
I tried to hide the realization growing on my face. A mouthful of taxidermy stuffing and chipped teeth from the iron horseshoe hidden inside wouldn't be the culinary sensation Ned was after. Sounds great, Ned.
Well, since you have your fish, would you like your
Would you like this back, Ned?
That's all right, Mac. I don't need it at the moment. You keep it for now.
I didn't need... The fish was far too hot to pick up, and I was sure Ned wouldn't have wanted me to extinguish his grill. I had more important things to do than fish. Good evening, Ned.
Hello again, Mac.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm not sure that fish is edible.
Ned, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm not sure that fish is edible.
Nah, Mac. Don't be so modest.
No, really, I think there's something inside the fish that shouldn't be there.
You almost had me there, Mac.
Ned was a nice guy, seemingly too nice to believe what I'd stowed in that fish.
How's it coming along?
How's the grilled pancoza coming along?
Sizzling up nicely. I have to keep checking it every few minutes. Make sure the fire isn't too hot. Make sure the skin doesn't get too charred. But don't worry, I'll let you know as soon as we're ready to eat.
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac. Don't touch it now, Mac. It's still cooking. Got to wait until the skin is nice and charred.
Could I extinguish it?
I didn't want to
Maybe... yeah.
If Ned wanted to wait until the fish was cooked to tuck in, it was time to turn up the heat.
Whoa! We don't want you overdone, little fishy. Time to cut you open. Ready for a taste sensation, Mac?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Hand me back that knife, would you? That's strange. There's something in here. A horseshoe.
Now, how did that get in there?
Mac, I think your fish is stuffed.
Well, knock me over with a herring. I'm shocked. Does this mean my record doesn't count?
I hate to break it to you.
Did I hear what I think I heard? Out of the way, Buster.
Evelyn! What took you so long?
The record-breaking Pancoza was stuffed. The new record was a sham. Murphy, what have you got to say for yourself?
You've caught me red-handed. Well, I don't mean to be coy with you, but this cuts me to the soul. I only entered for the halibut. I can't believe I'm herring this right. I'm cracking up. I'm floundering. I'm carping on and on. I need to clear my head, but let me know if you need anything else from me.
I think you've got more of a future in the funny pages than serious journalism, Murphy. Kipps, have you got time for an interview with the Juniper Parish Gazette?
Evelyn homed in on Ned like a dog with a bone and no sense of personal boundaries.
Do Pancoza fish ever eat iron?
Using the date from the death certificate, I began to search through the newspaper's archives. And then, I found it. In the bottom corner of the newspaper was a small announcement showing that the person buried on that date was named Eleanor Hines. I ripped out the announcement and replaced the newspaper.
Notice of burial is hereby declared the burial of Eleanor Hines took place on this day, 31st of March, 1898.
McCallan, I told you can't go back there.
Whoops, look at the time. I've really got to be going.
It's just the way she rotates.
I had a name to go along with the death certificate. Now it was time to find out where they were buried.
But first, I will talk to Ned Kipps about, my fish.
Hey, Mac. Don't be too down about your fish. The waters around here contain all manner of surprises. I reeled in an icebox last week, and a gas cooker the week before that. Just need a lure in a sink, and I could renovate our kitchen back home. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to be delivering to the Captain's Club tonight. If you see old Felix, ask him if they're running low, would you?
I decided...
Sure thing. And, I guess I might as well ask.
Hello again, Felix.
Hello again, sir.
Ned Kipps wants me to ask if you need any more fish.
Ned Kipps wants me to ask if you need any more fish for the Captain's Club.
I'm afraid we're not serving food tonight. Chef's come down with a case of gastroenteritis from undercooked fish, ironically. But if we did need some, I'd be rather wary of getting it from the Dead Nettle Pier based on the rumors I've heard. A horseshoe and a Pancoza. I wonder what aquatic ironmongery will be next. A candlestick and a catfish, perhaps?
I best...
Farewell.
Show him this.
Do you know where I can find this grave?
Eleanor Hines? Name rings a bell, but I can't remember the face. She must be around here somewhere, though.
I began searching the graves for the name in the clipping. Eleanor Hines. Aha! I discovered a small headstone at the center of the cemetery, partially covered in moss and lacking any date whatsoever. So this was where Eleanor Hines had been buried. Except, now that I was looking at it etched in large letters, I began to realize something. The name was an anagram. Here lies no one? And if a person wasn't buried here, what was?
Well, one way to find out.
To say digging up a grave felt eerie would be an understatement. But if something was down there, I needed to find out what it was.
That doesn't look like,
I took out the
rackets.
shovel and began to dig.
Silhouette, so is that like the sailor?
Eventually, I found something. Not a coffin, but instead, a battered old chest. I opened the chest I dug up from the grave and found two things of interest: a round glass lens and an engraving in the lid of the chest. I picked up the glass lens.
The Tale of the Mermaid. Alright, so the lens is, surely for the telescope.
I thought I did.
Now, before I go, back to Belmore Manor, go ahead here and just make sure that lens doesn't need to be, polished or anything.
It was a small glass lens I dug up in the cemetery, found alongside the inscription.
Just to be super certain, because...
Welcome back.
Nope. Do you know what this lens is for?
Looks too big for my microscope. Maybe someone's lost their monocle.
Alright, so I'll need to involve Helm in it.
The small lens fit perfectly on the end of the telescope. I immediately looked through it to see what it would reveal. I spy with my little eye the next clue. The creek meandered all across the peninsula. Surely that was too much to search. I'd already walked that road numerous times. Was there something along it I was missing?
Can't really move this. So there's a
The bayou would have been an easy place to hide something in. I'd already walked that road numerous times. Was there something along it I was missing? The creek meandered all across the peninsula. Surely that was too much to search.
And nothing about, the forest here. And, what about this, though? It's just kind of weird that this is so Oh! So you can.
Maybe the top of the outcrop would provide a different perspective on something? The Tale of the Mermaid. This must have been the location described in the chest's inscription, but looking through the gap in the weather vane, all I could see was darkness. With no easy path to it, I couldn't justify risking my life trekking through overgrown wilderness and the alligator-infested bayou unless I was sure something was there. I needed some way to light up the bayou. Perhaps there was something important about the weather vane, but I couldn't put my finger on what it was. Perhaps a shipwreck lay somewhere off the coast?
Alright, so let's just go back.
The clearing offered plenty of places to bury the next clue. The clue could easily be hidden beneath the pebbles in the bay. With no easy path to it, I couldn't justify risking my life trekking through overgrown wilderness and the alligator-infested bayou unless I was sure something was there. I needed some way to light up the bayou.
This, hypothetically...
I took a match out... Illuminated by the glow of the fireworks, I could see something through the mermaid weather vane. It looked like a wishing well.
Alright, so that's what the fireworks was for. I do like how I intuited that.
My route to the well had me clambering over fallen tupelo trees and trudging through knee-deep water, lit only by moonlight and accompanied only by the overly curious critters of the bayou. But eventually, I found it. The swamp water was murky and dark. I wasn't going to find anything of interest in there. I looked down the well. I couldn't see the bottom. Perhaps the darkness concealed the next step of my treasure hunt, if I could find a way down into it. I wanted to turn the pulley, but realized the handle was missing. Without a handle,
Alright, have a handle.
The crank slid into the gear mechanism perfectly.
Don't need to put like a bucket or anything on it.
The rope was already lowered as far as it would go. I'd heard of throwing a coin down a well to make a wish, but never of throwing yourself down. I just had to hope a 30-year-old rope could still hold my weight. With some luck, I found I'd landed on a metal platform jutting out into the hollow of the well. Clearly, I wasn't the first person to come down here, although the previous visitor might have arrived here more gracefully. I picked up the rope and the spindle it was attached to. It was the length of old rope that had snapped in the well, tied with a loop at one end. It was a small wooden rod, the snapped leftover from the well spindle. I needed to think of something else. I didn't need to tie that up. I didn't need to tie that up. I didn't need...
Alright, whatever, let's progress. Maybe I need to make a torch.
Unless I planned on jumping even further down into the well, the alcove looked like the only route out. But as I ran my hands over the bumps in the darkness, I couldn't find anything but cold, wet stone. If there was something there, I'd need some illumination to find it. The light from a match was going to be too dim and too quick burning to properly examine what lay in the darkness. I needed to think.
Alright, how's about a match and...
I didn't need to say. I did. The feather duster would have burned up in an instant, leaving me without a feather duster and probably without eyebrows too.
What about...
Knowing how flammable the grease-soaked cotton would be, I wrapped it around the spindle to form a rudimentary torch. I took a match out of the matchbook, careful not to drop it onto the wet floor, and ignited the torch. The torch burned brightly, dancing light into the formerly dark alcove, and that's when I saw it. Hidden within the rock face was a small metal box with a button on it.
Oh, let's push it.
I pressed the button and immediately heard the sound of sparking electricity, seemingly coming from within the rocks themselves. And then...
So, the automaton is all rusted up and stuff, but this mechanism in this dark, wet, cave here still works fine. Well, there's a ghost.
The passageway meandered like a labyrinth through the underground rock. With each step, I felt more and more lost, and ready to turn back. Then up ahead, I saw a glimmer of light. I looked into the chasm, but all I could see were jagged rocks, darkness, and numerous health and safety concerns. A small metal bridge crossed a chasm in the tunnel's floor.
Nothing else to observe.
The top of the stairs appeared to be a dead end, but the wooden board blocking my way and the muffled sounds of electricity suggested there was more to this passageway than met the eye. I placed my hands on the obstruction and pushed. I emerged into a dimly lit office that seemed to have been taken over by frighteningly active machinery, and from the familiar groaning of wood, I realized where I was. So this was the generator that the water wheel was powering. This was what was bringing the spark of life to Cecil's experiments. The large machine looked like something out of the story Frankenstein, fizzing occasionally with stray sparks. The scrawls looked like the writings of a madman. I could identify words in Latin and strange occult symbols, but pieced together, they looked like they'd only have meaning to their author. Papers were strewn throughout the room, covered in ferociously written observations and diagrams, very few of which made any sense to me. Despite my efforts, I couldn't find a way to open the bookcase passage from this side. Horror novels had told me that one of the shelved books might be a secret lever, but if there was one, I couldn't find it. The books were eclectic, ranging from science to the supernatural, electricity to exorcism. It was disconcerting to think about what research they might have once been informing.
Well, I mean, shouldn't you know, like, about the stone?
Cecil Belmore's skeleton lay hunched over his desk, a knife still in his back. It didn't feel right pulling the dagger from the skeleton. I didn't want to interfere with the skeleton any more than I had to. This must have been Cecil Belmore, the scientist.
How did his coat get all torn?
I solved your treasure hunt, Cecil. I hope you don't mind me taking this as my reward.
I grow weary of your inability to heed my warning,
Hey,
Murphy
Jacko.
Callan. No good shall come from you pursuing this.
I know all about your plan, Jacko.
I know all about your plan, Rackham.
My plan will succeed, with or without your interference. I'm afraid you're making a terrible mistake, McCallan. For your own sake, I suggest you leave this island for good.
Never. Whether you like it or not, I'm part of this story now, too.
You haven't learnt, have you, McCallan? Everything you've done so far has just made the situation worse. Now is the time to back out.
I'll never do that, Rackham. Finding the treasure is more important to me now than it's ever been.
Then I hope it's a cause you're willing to die for. Just as Cecil Belmore's blood poured from his body, so shall yours.
If he can, like, teleport around, why can't he teleport into the room with the treasure?
Rackham's telekinetic powers had dropped me onto the mill's conveyor belt. My wrists and ankles now tied with the same wire that was strewn about the mill. But at least the buzzsaw wasn't on. And then it got even worse.
I can't access my items.
With inches to spare, the belt snagged on the working wooden frame and gave me a chance of escape. Acutely aware that it could catch again any moment and send me hurtling into the spinning blade. With my hands and feet bound, I couldn't reach my belongings. I needed to think of something else. Nope. Carefully, I held the wire wrapped around my wrists against the spinning blade. It cut through them like butter, just like it would do to me if I couldn't get my ankles free. Jamming the shovel into the spinning metal blade didn't seem like a good idea. With seconds left, I hacked into the wires with the scissors and just managed to cut through them. With my legs free, I swung myself off the conveyor belt. I'd survived being cut in half, and now I had Cecil's key.
Scientist's key, find Cecil's key. Alright, but like, couldn't you have just like swung yourself off even if your hands and feet were bound? I'm gonna put this in just so that the next time he gives a hint, it's not about this. You can be in the center.
I placed the second key into the mantelpiece.
Murphy, the Devil's Rock Devil has returned.
What's he done now?
I heard that he's dug up graves, launched fireworks without a permit, operated a buzzsaw without safety equipment. Know anything about it?
Can't say that I do.
Keep your eyes open.
Well, that last one was Rackham. I wasn't operating shit, I was just escaping.
Anything?
I'm keeping my eyes open.
Talk to her
yes?
about something?
Hi.
What are you working on now?
What are you working on now?
A clarification. A local dancer's moving off the island and looking to get rid of some furniture. But my piece asking if there was any interest in Hoochie Coochie dancer Lulu Leroy's huge chest got a much bigger response than we expected. And not for the right reasons.
Am I right in thinking you're not from around here?
Am I right in thinking you're not from around here?
Good call, McAllen. Santa Monica, California. Born and bred. Hadn't even been to Devil's Rock before I got the job. The divine irony is that I got this job due to a misleading ad in a newspaper. Seeking newspaper editor for dynamic community. Exciting stories. Amazing opportunities. What nonsense. But now I'm here. Nonsense is all I have to write about.
Why'd you stay?
Why did you stay in Dead Nettle?
I came down with a horrible case of temporary insanity.
Health issues?
No. I started dating a notary named Jonathan. Right after I'd taken out a mortgage, I stumbled across his dalliances with the fishmonger's wife, the ironmonger's wife, and the cheesemonger's wife. Knowing his type, I decided I'd become a warmonger, and I set fire to his belongings. I last saw him picking through his charred underpants on my front porch. Now he's off in Rancho Cucamonga with some flapper named Anastasia, and I'm still financially tied to this island.
I didn't know iron was mongered. You learn something new every day. How's the investigation?
How's the Devil's Rock Devil investigation going?
I've made progress.
You think you know who it is?
No. Progress with my marketing campaign. I've written a jingle.
Oh dear.
Across the aisle, from shore to shore, those good of hearts buy misdeeds in store. A shadow looms where he dares revel, the dastardly devious Devil's Rock Devil.
I'm trying to track down 3 dead bodies.
A serial killer? In Dead Nettle? This could be gold. When did this happen? This morning? Last night?
No. 33 years ago.
33 years ago? That's not journalism, that's archaeology.
I think I better be going.
My door's always open. I broke the hinge earlier.
Anything new to say, Ned? Just trying to figure out, like, what I can get to handle that fucking
I decided to leave.
Is that Pencosa fish I could smell from the kitchens?
Out on the docks, actually. Ned started up a grill.
I had a Pencosa fish once.
To eat?
No, I could never eat him. He was a pet of mine. Used to swim around in my bathtub, though he didn't much care for the squeeze when Mrs. Pemberley took a bath. Lived to the ripe old age of 13. I had him stuffed and mounted aboard the Spirit Queen to honor his treasured life. Bernie, I called him.
I had the dawning realization that I knew that fish better than I had expected.
I wonder what happened to him.
Well, he's definitely Bernie now, I can tell you that. I didn't think Hello again, Captain Pemberley.
Welcome back, Captain McCallum.
Don't tell anyone, but Felix is hiding the balls.
Don't tell anyone I told you this, but the maitre d' has been hiding the billiard balls. That's why you don't have enough to play a full game.
Felix has been purloining my balls?
Every week for 3 months.
Well, I feel tremendously violated. I shall be writing a letter of complaint to the club secretary. A man's balls are sacred.
Billiard balls?
Absolutely.
I'd best be running along. Enjoy your evening.
Farewell, Captain McCallum.
They got to make that joke that they really want to make, and you can tell they want to make it.
I had nothing.
Everything you need to make your own kazoo. Just a comb and some tissue paper, all it takes to make a music. Alright, I think I have tissue, but where would I find a comb? I'm just really getting tired of hearing those puppets.
The necklace I'd been given by Madame Planchette seemed familiar, and I wondered where I'd seen it before.
I know where it's from before, like it's from her.
Abigail wasn't wearing the other half of the necklace, but from the corner of my eye, I noticed that her reflection was.
Do you have a comb I could use?
The necklace I was carrying exactly matched the one around the neck of the bride's reflection. This must have belonged to the sailor. It was time to reunite it with its other half.
I just really want a comb so I can finally be free from those fuck-ass puppets.
As the reflection disappeared back into the mirror, I looked at the dresser and saw that something had been left behind. A small ivory comb. I didn't think Abigail would mind if I took the comb with me. Remembering my childhood days,
That was my moment. Your home. We agreed in rehearsals that this scene would be about me. Because I did no such thing. You did it again! You always told me you'd try to upstage me. But Mama told you that. She always told me I should go solo. Right, that's it. I quit. You quit. I quit first. You'll never work in this town again. Work in this town again? We only arrived this morning.
I think it would be okay
You
if
sabotaged the show.
both of them killed
I'm sorry,
themselves.
I was just...
That was hilarious. I liked it when the puppets fight. I love it when it's the puppeteers.
Glad you enjoyed the show.
Could I borrow those instruments you used? If they come back, I'd like to direct the encore.
Sure, I doubt I'll have much more use for them.
I think they should both kill themselves. That was fucking obnoxious.
Hello again, Crab.
Hello, Murphy.
What was that puppet show you were watching?
What was that puppet show you were watching?
A bastardization of the Commedia dell'arte. You know, I don't even think they're Italian. Shave the moustaches off, and they look exactly like two guys I saw down at the Absinthe Bar a few weeks ago.
Do you think they're really locals?
Worse than that, I think they're Floridians.
Does anyone else perform here?
Does anyone else perform here?
On the Plaza del Pez? Oh, sure. They're plagued by performers. Last week, some guy painted himself silver, shoved a steel rod up his sleeve, then stood there pretending he could float on air.
Sounds magical.
It wasn't magical when Mrs. Grotke took a tumble and tried to steady herself on him. Knocked the guy right into the bay. He might have been able to float on air, but he sure couldn't float on water.
Did he die?
Are you not a fan of the theater?
Quite the contrary. I dreamed of one day treading the boards, basking in the limelight.
What would your act have been?
Hypnosis. Ever since I was a boy, I would practice for hours, honing my hypnotic stare.
Were you any good at it?
I don't know. I never tried it out other than in the mirror. But anytime I hear a bell ring, I do start clucking like a chicken.
Have you ever auditioned for the local theater?
At the Calliope? No, I can't say that I have. I always felt that the innate connection between the performer and the audience was disrupted by the proscenium arch. An actor should get out among the spectators, simultaneously a symbol and a reflection of the society they find themselves in. A commentary on the bourgeoisie that belongs within the everyday experience, not locked away behind an entry fee.
And you think that can come across in street theater?
Of course. Unless you're a mime, and you just look silly.
I'll talk.
Goodbye.
Alright, let's, where is it? Get this show on the road.
Could you take me to Crossbone Cove?
Well, look at that. That's quite the dangerous destination. Do you know how many boats have crashed against the rocks along that coast?
Does that mean we can't go?
Oh, sure we can. But it'll cost you.
How much?
Boat charter, insurance, perilous route supplement, double pay at this time of night. It's gonna cost you at least $50.
$50?
Plus tax. Let's call it $75 total.
75?
But listen, I'll give you private hire of the ferry for the rest of the night.
I don't have that much.
No problem. Just get back to me when you do. As I say it, you've got no other choice. Ain't no other ferry around at this time of night.
Alright, somehow need to procure...
Welcome back.
I had nothing else.
Probably be stealing from there. In order to do that, I think I'll need to handle him.
I had nothing. I glanced at the book's cover. Nope. That didn't work. I needed...
Is there anything I can,
That didn't.
show helmet?
Did you say you were looking for a more secluded beach?
Yes, that's right. Have you found one?
Look at this! Further along the coast is a bay called Crossbone Cove.
Crossbone Cove. That does sound very bony. How do we get there?
There's a ferryman in town named Crab McCready who can take us to Crossbone Cove. We just need $75 to cover the charter fee.
Oh, absolutely. I can spare some of my allowance. Let me write you a check.
Alright. October 7th, 1933. Alright, so I guess now we know what year this game takes place in. So, Carl, Provisional Accounts Joint Stock Corporation that everyone seems to know about. To Crab McCready, $75. And his signature that includes a little seashell.
That should cover it.
I'll go charter it at once.
Still interesting that book can be interacted with.
Will this cover the ferry payment?
Oh, I didn't think you'd get that much. Sure it will. Who's this Carlisle guy?
Oh, he's coming too. He's funding the trip.
Well, he gets a promotional flag too.
Gee, thanks.
Consider this ferry chartered. Thank you for placing your trust in the Crab McCready Ferry Company, despite all the reviews. Now, once your compatriot is here, we can cast off. Pen that map up inside the cabin, will you? It'll be a tricky voyage to Crossbone Cove. I haven't sunk yet. This month.
So we were off, captained by a man whose body composition had more alcohol in it than a bottle of vodka. And yet he navigated like a seasoned dancer, pirouetting through the treacherous currents with a drunken grace, all the while sipping from a flask that smelled stronger than window cleaner. Crab, I can't complain about your captaincy skills, but I've got to ask, how did you get through those treacherous rocks with so much alcohol in your bloodstream?
Murphy, if I didn't have the alcohol in my bloodstream, I wouldn't be going anywhere near those rocks in the first place.
Fair enough.
The rowboat had no oars, and more importantly, no structural integrity. It wasn't going anywhere. It was an old rowboat, smashed against the rocks of the stony beach. At the far end of Crossbone Cove, all I came across was a wall of rocks and boulders. It seemed the cave I was after had gone missing. What looked to be the entrance to a cave had been covered over by a rockfall. It was now partially lit by the Fort de la Moor lighthouse.
So, now do I have like a target?
Hello again, Muffy.
Hello, Murphy.
Any luck finding those fossils?
Any luck finding those fossils?
Nothing. I'm beginning to think this island doesn't have any fossils.
Have you found anything at all?
Only these.
Oh my goodness, Muffy! Those are gemstones! Rubies, emeralds, sapphires? This might be genuine pirate treasure.
But they're not fossils, are they? They're nothing more than baubles. They're not the figurative footsteps of ancient behemoths, the skeletal remains of the kings of the prehistoric world. I'll have you know, I'm not conducting this exploration for financial gain, but for the love of dinosaurs. Here, you seem rather entranced by them. You can have them.
Gosh, thank you, Muffy.
What do you think of the place?
What do you think of Crossbone Cove, Muffy?
I feel like a real explorer out here. Such daring and tranquil isolation. Inaccessible. Miles from civilization.
It's nice to get away from it all, isn't it?
Just the place to build a summer retreat, I'd say. A manor on the cliffside, a pier for the yacht, connect up a road for Rufus, my driver, a few cottages for the staff. Then I'd be able to enjoy the isolation properly.
You haven't seen a cave?
You haven't seen a cave around here, have you?
I'm afraid not. Why? Have you lost one?
It appears so.
Well, don't give up. Things are always in the last place you look.
It's a bit of a tautology, though.
Good luck with the...
I'm close. I can feel it.
I hope this guy does find his fossils.
I didn't want to disturb the rock pile. I might have made it collapse. It was a pile of rocks, sturdily balanced atop one another. It was now illuminated by the light from Fort de la Moor.
Alright, so can I put something shiny
Hey, Crab,
on it?
what is this thing?
Ah, there's a cairn. Probably built centuries ago.
What was it used for?
The cairns were used by pirates as markers. You see, with all these coves and caves along the coastline, it'd be easy to lose track of which one held the booty. So they'd stack up the rocks and put something reflective on top, like a shard of metal from a broken cutlass or a handheld mirror. Then, as they'd sail the coast, they'd shine their lanterns across the beaches, and if they saw something reflect back, they knew that's where they'd hidden the stolen loot.
Do you think the cove still has treasure?
I don't think so. What's the point of hiding gold and jewels if you don't come back to collect and spend them?
As I placed the polished brooch on the cairn, it caught the light of the lighthouse beam and reflected it back fantastically, like a signal mirror.
Alright.
Looking back out through the narrow inlet across the waves, I could see Fort de la Moor, with its ramparts of antique cannons and lighthouse-top tower. It was now illuminating the inside of the bay, at least what it could reach through the narrow opening into the cove. From where I was standing, it practically looked like the cannons were aimed at me.
I don't think there's much else to look at in regards to here, so I think you're gonna wanna join me back to the mainland for a bit.
With use of the ferry for the rest of the night, the Creaky Crab 2 remained ready to take me back to Dead Nettle. Hello again, Crab.
Hello, Murphy.
Isn't there supposed to be a cave here?
Isn't there supposed to be a cave here?
Looks like there's been a rock slide. Not unusual on this side of the island. The Caribbean hurricanes hit these coves with full force.
Do you think there's any fossils?
Do you think there are any fossils on this beach?
Bones? Here? Nah, I don't think so. You see, most of the rock is igneous. It doesn't have the right sedimentary process and stratigraphic considerations. You need to have a thorough understanding of geologic timescales and the depositional environments present in a particular era to fully grasp why fossils wouldn't be found in rock formations like these.
I didn't expect you to know so much about geology.
Most people don't. Skills like that, you keep close to your chest. Never know when they'll come in useful.
Well, what about Muffy?
What do you think of Muffy persisting in his search?
Well, everybody needs a hobby, right? I collect rubber ducks.
You continue to surprise me, Crab. Do you think there's a way into the cave?
That has to be 200 tons of solid rock. The only way you're going to get through there is by blowing a hole in it. And I'm afraid the Creaky Crab 2 here is too small for artillery.
So pirates used to use this beach to stow hidden treasure?
I heard this one was used by Captain Crumb.
He's related to Jasper Crumb, the jeweler, isn't he?
Hard to believe, isn't it? One of the most vicious pirates to sail these seas. Until he got the wind knocked out of his sails. How a bloodline can go from a man who would cut through a dozen men for just a single doubloon to a man who came off worse in a fight with a budgie is beyond me.
What knocked the wind out of Captain Crumb's sails?
Some say it was a ghost ship. Personally, I think he must have had a midlife crisis. Tried to find something more fulfilling, like crochet or watercolour painting. All that swashbuckling would wear anyone out.
I'd like to head back to Dead Nettle, please.
I'll stay here. Come back for me later. I'm not leaving until I find a fossil.
That guy's elevator doesn't go all the way to the top floor now, does it? Hop aboard, Murphy.
I'm just glad to not hear those fucking puppets.
The cannon looked like it might still work. If it did, I knew from that... The cannon was ready to fire, but Muffy was still at Crossbone Cove. No matter how annoying the lanky fellow was, I couldn't fire the cannon while he was still on the beach searching for fossils.
Welcome back.
I've got something to sell that I think you'll be very interested in.
Wonderful. What is it you're selling?
These are genuine pirate gems. They were discovered at the treacherously inaccessible Crossbone Cove, where they must have laid undisturbed for 2 centuries. Just imagine their history. Fierce ship battles, sword fights, X marks the spot. They must be priceless.
That's a very exciting story, Murphy. But I'm afraid what we have here is glass.
Glass?
Yes, sea glass. Bits of bottle or a broken lantern, perhaps. They fall into the sea, then get smashed up into little pieces by the rocks. The tide wears them down until you end up with pretty little polished pieces like this.
Does that mean you're not going to buy them off me?
I'm afraid not. But they are pretty. I'll tell you what I'll do. Have a look and see if there's something you'd like to trade them for. Does that sound like a deal?
Sounds like the best deal I'm going to get. Could I trade the sea glass for one of these fossils?
Certainly. I think that's within your price range. Which would you like?
The swirly one at the front would be great. Thank you.
Pleasure doing business with you.
So why would he be willing to trade sea glass for the fossils? Actually, let's see what he has to say about this.
Inside the puppet theater, I could still hear the two puppeteers arguing with each other. I thought it best to leave them alone. Set up on the seafront was an elaborate carved wood puppet theater with Pulcinella painted across the top. Hello again, Crab.
Hello, Murphy.
I'd like to head...
That's enough.
Returning to Crossbone Cove, I discovered the lighthouse at Fort de la Moor was now illuminating the inside of the cove. Muffy, look what I just found!
Is that what I think it is? A dinosaur fossil. A memento of the Behemoths. A shadow of a bygone age. My very own dinosaur.
That's an ammonite, that is.
Really not helping here, Crab.
Just saying.
And it was right here where you were searching. You were right after all.
I was right. I'm a real-life paleontologist. This'll show Papa.
Crab, we're heading back to Dead Nettle. Muffy found what he was looking for.
Glad to hear it. Step aboard.
So not like you'll
Where did your friend run up to so fast?
I have no idea. I think we made a childhood dream come true tonight.
I am so overwhelmed, I might spew right across the deck.
Did he come back here? No, his book is still there. Alright, now can we finally fire?
With the brooch at Crossbone Cove reflecting light back from the lighthouse, I knew exactly where to aim. I took a match out of the matchbook and lit the cannon's fuse. I felt like a pirate captain about to unleash a broadside barrage. Ready the cannons, you scurvy scallywags! Pull the ship to port, down with the mainsail! Buckle your swash and fire! That looks like it might have worked.
Kinda curious, like, did he go somewhere?
I decided to leave Ned to his fishing.
Murphy, the Devil's Rock Devil's up to his old tricks again.
Oh no, what's he done this time?
I heard that he's provoked public disorder at the Puppet Theater, fired antique military artillery. Know anything about it?
The Devil's Rock Devil.
Can't say that I do.
Spree.
The Devil's Rock Devil continues to elude us.
Alright, so I think that indicates that, like, there's nothing more I can do that's gonna prompt her to say anything.
Well, blow me down. What's happened here?
Did you do this, Murphy?
I needed to find a way in.
Well, Aladdin, I think you found your magic cave.
The cannon fire had worked. The boulders that had fallen in the rock slide were now rubble strewn across the beach, revealing what I'd been searching for, a dark cave winding into the cliffside. ghostly glow flickered from the far end of the cave as I slipped on the seaweed-covered rocks trying to reach it. I began to fear the worst, but as I emerged in the subterranean chamber, I discovered it was actually the otherworldly glow of plankton. I didn't know if my mind was playing tricks on me, but the rock formations in the cave began to look like a skull and crossbones. So that's why they call it that. It was a rock formation at the far end of the cave. But was it natural?
I mean, get Krabs in here. He, knows geology. He could probably tell ya.
I wasn't going to be able to pick up the algae with my bare hands.
Is that something I'll want to do?
The bottle I was carrying would be a better choice for that. I didn't need to keep it hotter.
Okay. I'll pick up the algae. I mean, why not?
I scooped up some of the algae water. With a quick shake to agitate it, the bottle began to shine like a blue lantern. It was a soda bottle I'd filled with bioluminescent algae water. I'd read about phytoplankton before, and how its glow was triggered by the vibration of movement around it. Nothing compared to the magic of seeing them. Disturbed by the gentle wash of the waves, algae in the water was glowing blue. Outstretched across the sandbank was a sea-worn skeleton. It must have been Xavier Belmore.
Nothing else to look at. Alright.
Close up, the skeleton's bones looked bleached from the salt water, the fabric worn away from decades of high and low tides.
Yeah, see, I get, this one, his outfit being rags, but, the other two were just sitting there.
The thought of touching the skeleton sent a shiver down my spine. I found you, Xavier. Your final expedition won't have been in vain.
Hey, asshole.
Murphy McCallan, you will pay for your insolence.
I have the third key now, Rackham. The treasure doesn't belong to you. I will get to the Belmore treasure before you.
Do you think this is a game, Murphy McCallan? You are toying with things beyond your understanding.
I think you're just nervous that I'm closer to finding the treasure than you are.
I will not be defeated by a mere mortal. Even if you claim the treasure, I will haunt you to the ends of the earth. There will be no escape from the terror and misery I will bring down upon you. Each time you sleep, I will turn your every dream into an unending nightmare.
I've survived your attempts to kill me twice now, Rackham. Maybe you're not as powerful as you think you are.
Even with the 3 keys, do you really think you can beat me to the treasure, Murphy? You are a mortal. I am an all-powerful spirit. I have looked upon the face of death, and still I remain here. Now it's time for you to look upon death too.
Just as Xavier Belmore drowned in the rising tide of this cave,
so shall you.
When Rackham's earthquake finally stopped, I realized the route I'd followed into the cave was blocked. Tons of impenetrable rock and rubble now stood between me and the outside world. I was trapped. The only source of light was the glowing algae in the water, but even that dimmed to darkness when it went undisturbed in the quiet cave. At any point, the cave could fill up with seawater, drowning me just as it had Xavier. I needed to find a way out.
Should I maybe let it get dark?
As the darkness dimmed in the cave, I began to make out a faint luminescence in the form of a whirlpool. Some turbulence beneath the water was making the algae glow, and I hoped it might be an underwater tunnel. The lights below the water didn't offer much chance of escape, but at least it was better than waiting to drown in the cave. Using the bottle of algae as an underwater lantern, I waded into the water, then dived down below the surface. The underwater tunnels felt like a maze. I pulled myself past jagged rocks and twisting passages, with only the ethereal blue glow of the algae to light my way, until finally, with only seconds of air left in my lungs, I reached the surface.
Murphy, what are you doing over there? It's dangerous to swim out here, you know. You could get washed into a sea cave or something.
Thanks for the advice, Crab. I'll make a note of that. Green from the seawater I'd swallowed, I could at least say I'd survived being drowned. And now I had Xavier's key. That was it. All 3 skeleton keys. Now it was time to open the vault.
See the cave-in from the other side.
Rackham's cave-in had blocked off the route down to the cave completely. I wasn't getting down there again, and for my own safety, that was probably a good thing. The cave was once again inaccessible, and probably for the last time, too.
Is anything behind the waterfall? No. Game's not Kino enough to have something behind the waterfall.
Hello again, Crab.
Hello, Murphy.
I'd like to head...
Hop aboard, Murphy.
I placed the 3rd key into the mantelpiece and immediately heard a click.
Still have so many items, like... Presumably those are going to get used at some point, except for, like, the firework, which I guess I can just, like, have infinite amount of.
I didn't know what exactly I was going to discover beneath the house, but it was time to find out.
I wouldn't go down there if I were you.
This is the only way to save everyone in the house. I need to see what's down there.
A cry for help will make no sound, with secrets deep below the ground. Dare he walk into the black, for once he's in, he won't come back.
Well, couldn't you tell me that, like, you know, before I go in? The coffin stone, just in case there's some shit I might need to do. Yeah, that's the kind of thing a video game tells
The
you.
staircase coiled down and down beneath the house, carved out of the very rock the house sat on. Lit only by flickering lanterns, I worked my way towards the green glow beckoning me at the end of the tunnel. Finally passing through the frame of a large metal door and into the Belmore Vault.
How did they get this shit in here?
There didn't appear to be a way to operate the crane. It was a huge mechanical crane reaching out over the chasm. That must have been the treasure coffin, the same one the Belmore brothers traded for in the Caribbean, and that meant I had a pretty good guess what was inside, if I could find a way to reach it. Hanging from a crane was a battered-looking coffin.
Alright, so Rock's still in there? Like, then what's causing all this shit? Spirit water. Like the one named the Spirit Queen.
Decades of exposure to the coffin stone had turned the water green with cursed energy, just like the spirit water in Moray's riverboat. I didn't want to put my hand in it. The entire vault was flooded with spirit water, its glow illuminating the cavern.
This isn't gonna contaminate, like, you know, the water everywhere in general.
The bottle I was carrying would be... I didn't need to keep it hot.
Fine. So I presume something is supposed to be here? Oh.
I reached down to the hand wheel and pulled it from the glowing water, careful not to splash any on myself. hand wheel slotted perfectly onto the axle of the crane.
Alright, let's lower that shit. But seriously, why can't Rackham teleport into here? Is he stupid?
The hook was lowered as far as it could go. It was the crane hook dangling at the end of the chain.
Can I put something on it?
There didn't seem to be much reason to attach the rope to the hook while it was lowered.
What about the flag?
Nope.
Didn't give this over to Murray or Murphy or Muffy or whatever his name is. Alright.
As I peered into the coffin, I saw for the first time the cursed artifact that had caused all of this. The coffin stone. Its surface is black as brimstone, each crack faceted like an emerald. Simultaneously beautiful and terrifying. The only thing inside the coffin was the item I'd been searching for, the coffin stone.
Yoink.
And so the elusive artifact is found.
Rackham, you've lost. I found the coffin stone before you. Your plan has failed.
Congratulations, Murphy McCallan. But now I think it's time you hand it over to me.
I'll never give it to you.
Give it to me, or die.
You've attempted to kill me 3 times now, and every time you've failed. You don't scare me anymore.
Yes. How convenient that you managed to escape 3 times. Such failure on my part would be terribly embarrassing. It's almost as though it was planned that way.
Planned?
Could perhaps the perpetual threat of an evil phantom have motivated you to quicken your pace in finding the coffin stone? Without a demonstration of the threat, you might well have walked away. But you did exactly as I wanted. My powers outside this house may have been constrained to mere projections, and yet everything I needed was accomplished by you.
Wait, you can
You
teleport
wanted me to find
though.
the stone?
Now the foolish mortal understands. And just as you hold something valuable to me, I hold something that is valuable to you.
Abigail, are you okay?
I'm afraid she's very much under my spell again, McCallan. And for the final time, too. Her final struggle to escape the spell. All that energy she spent to warn you, wasted on someone as worthless as you. Now, because of it, she's trapped forever.
I'll save her.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
I'll use the coffin stone to save her.
You know nothing about the stone, McCallan. Do you even know how to use its powers?
Yeah.
I know enough to not let you have it.
Let me tell you the final piece of the puzzle. The Belmore treasure will belong to me. For years, I have studied and mastered powers beyond anything you could know. I deserve that stone. But as you've come to learn, Murphy McCallan, this magical artifact has one important rule. It will only work for its rightful owner. It cannot be stolen. It can only be bought or traded or inherited. I knew the Belmores would never sell or trade it to me of their own volition. But if I were to marry Abigail, all our worldly goods would become one another's. If she inherited the entire Belmore estate. Perhaps I underestimated her infatuation with that sailor.
Though we still don't know
The
the name
need
of.
to look into the eyes of her true love as she vows I do. But tonight, it's time to perform the wedding again. And if she needs to gaze into her true love's eyes to go through with it, this time I will make that happen. Don't you remember yet, Murphy? Only you could be lured to the island. Only you could summon the spirits of the house. Only you heard the call of the treasure within. You've been here before.
So, like, am I the
Walking
sailor?
through the port town of Deadnettle, I could sense its history in every stone, brick, and plank.
I know what your mind sees when your eyelids close. Tell me, Murphy, what do you dream of?
I've been dreaming about this treasure since I first read about it. It's like it's calling for me to find it.
It's like it can infect your dreams.
Even without lights on, it felt like something inside the house was calling me, or warning me.
I suppose fate will always bring two soulmates together, even when they least expect it.
I'm Rackham's soulmate.
It's very rare for someone to come back from the other side. It can happen.
And Murphy, this ghost story, now it's your story too.
You came back.
You were the sailor, Murphy McCallum. Welcome home.
It felt like I was falling through every memory of my life, and then every memory of the life I once lived, the realization crystallizing in my mind like a flash of lightning. I was the sailor. I remembered everything, an entire relationship coursing through my mind in seconds, and the tragic way it ended. But I'd come back for her. Abigail, you don't have to marry him. I remember. I loved you. I still love you.
It's too late, McCallum. She's my bride-to-be now.
She broke free of the spell the last time you tried to make her say I do. She'll do it again. It's me she wants to marry.
You're right about that. This time, it'll be your eyes she sees before her. I promised you death, Murphy, and I intend to deliver. For 33 years, I was trapped in this house. Now you'll be trapped here for eternity. Such a vessel, but I'll have to make do. Do excuse me, Mr. McCallum. I have a wedding I'm running frightfully late for, and I'd just die if I missed it.
And that's how I died. My body torn from its spirit, and then possessed by Rackham for his evil ends. All those times I'd read about the ghosts of Belmore Manor, and now I was one of them. But just like those ghosts, death wouldn't be the end for me. If I could escape the vault.
Alright, so the game does that thing.
In taking my body, Rackham had also taken all the belongings I'd collected. I wondered what he'd done with them.
Where, you know, character A possesses the body of character B, and character B's body now speaks with the exact voice of character A rather than character B, with character A's, like, you know, speech mannerisms and whatnot, which always bothered me, you know, because it's like,
Looking back into the treasure coffin, I found it now contained all the items I collected on my adventure.
if I didn't pick up an extra one of these, or actually, where's the gunpowder? Or if I didn't, like, grab the spirit, water, would this be different? Oh, there's the gunpowder. Like, how much can this change depending on your actions?
I gathered up all the belongings I'd been carrying. Rackham might not see their purpose, but if they'd helped me out once, they might be useful again.
And now there's nothing. Alright, so hook can be manipulated.
There didn't seem to be...
No reason to put a rope on it, but there's a reason to put anything else on it.
That didn't...
Oh no, that was the spirit water. Never mind.
The hook hung out of reach. I didn't... I tried with all my might to open the vault door, but with no luck. It had been locked from the other side.
Just kind of looking around, making sure.
The vault door looked even stronger than the rock around it. If I set off an explosion, it was going to be the last thing to be damaged.
And I guess I can't
I needed to...
it. Is there anything about this? Or any of these symbols?
I couldn't remove the nails with my bare hands. One by one, I pried the old nails from the coffin.
So is there nothing else here that I need to focus on or think about? Just want to be real sure.
That didn't work. Nope. No. I needed to... In a flash of inspiration, a plan came into my mind. The summoning spell revealed that which is hidden within. Maybe it could reveal the evil spirit that was hidden within my mortal body, if I could find all the ingredients. I placed the coffin nails into the gree-gree.
Alright, so I'm recreating the gree-gree.
I didn't need to... I placed the feather duster in the gree-gree. That would work as black feathers.
And gunpowder?
I placed the gunpowder into the gree-gree.
Black feathers, gunpowder, silver coin, rum, bone fret. I can find, I know where rum is. That one ghost has it. Let's see, chalk, gunpowder.
That wasn't go-
Alright, let's check out the hinge.
Holding the door in place was a pair of metal hinges that each looked like they'd begun to fracture, but pulling at them with my fingers would do nothing.
Alright, once again, use
There was nothing on the hinges for the pliers to get purchase on.
I use the gunpowder.
I didn't know what strange effects the spirit water had, but getting through metal hinges wasn't one of them.
Maybe just bash
I may not have been able to get through the vault door with brute force, but I could certainly make an impact on its hinges. I tried with all my might to open the vault door, but with no luck. It had been locked from the other side. Even with the hinges broken, the vault door was far too heavy for me to move with my bare hands.
Alright, so now is a hook gonna be useful?
I had once won a wooden whistle in a lasso game at the county fair. Now it was time to play the game with a little more on the line. I attached the heavy metal hook to the handle on the door. Well, I hope that holds.
Let's give it a go.
The vault door went crashing into the spirit water below, and in doing so gave me my escape route.
Well, let's see if it shows up down there.
The vault door was of no use to me. The vault door had landed in the water below, barely poking above the surface.
I guess we will figure out what the long-term effects of spirit water on vault doors are. Escape
No time to
escape
lose.
the vault.
I needed to get to the ballroom.
Oh, I don't even have a choice.
We are gathered here today to join Abigail Belmore and Murphy McCallan in holy matrimony.
Rackham's plan was taking shape. At the far end of the ballroom, Father Foskett was delivering the rites that would wed Abigail to Rackham, even if he'd possessed my body to do it. I needed to stop the wedding, and I didn't have much time left at all. I couldn't go any further and risk Rackham seeing me before I was ready to confront him. The delicately drawn writing on the chalkboard listed the schedule of events for the wedding.
Don't you touch that!
Good evening, Mrs. Craddock.
It is certainly not a good evening. The kitchens aren't prepared, the flower arrangements are a shambles, and they've changed the schedule 3 times already.
The schedule?
Right behind me in black and white. And am I even permitted to see the wedding? Of course not, in case any guests arrive late. Through a door we're supernaturally barred from passing through. I almost daren't say it, but I'm on the verge of resigning my duties. I am the head of housekeeping. I deserve respect.
What do you say was on chalkboard?
What did you say was on the chalkboard?
As I said, this is the schedule of tonight's events. I've spent the past 40 minutes writing that up, with all the calligraphic flair my teachers taught me in preparatory school. And now I'm hearing rumors that the schedule is going to change. No self-respecting housekeeper should have to deal with so much in such a short period. One more change, and I shall be handing in my notice.
Need to stop the wait, why are they letting, her marry me? Like, for fuck's sake. Why would...
I need to stop the wedding.
You shall do no such thing! I've put a lot of work into this event, and I won't have an off-the-street gutter snipe like you interrupting it. I'm barely hanging on as it is.
Goodbye, Mrs.
Goodbye, indeed.
Grab that.
Leave it there, boy. I'm saving it for the toast.
It was clear that if I wanted it, I was going to have to persuade the Colonel to let me take it. A tricky task when he was deafer than Beethoven wearing earmuffs. I did...
Want some...
It surely wasn't going to be a good idea to let him drink that. The pot was practically empty again, with only a few drops of liquid wax left at the bottom.
Am I gonna wanna have that liquid
That
wax?
didn't work.
Would you like a firecracker?
It was a strange feeling. staring at a decaying skeletal body that, once upon a time, used to be me. Knowing the skeleton belonged to a former version of myself, I didn't feel quite as uneasy taking a piece of it. I placed the skeletal finger in the gree-gree. That would work as the bone fragment.
Alright.
I didn't... It was a death certificate.
Can I show this to her? And be like, oh, the schedule's changed.
Noticing the similarity between Mrs. Craddock's chalk artistry and the wedding schedule, it was time to ask some questions. Are the times on your chalkboard correct?
Excuse me. Whatever do you mean?
Well, it's just that I was given this other schedule and the times are very different from yours. Maybe things have been shuffled around?
No, this can't be. How am I expected to work under these conditions? A wedding is a once-in-a-lifetime event. If they keep reconsidering every decision, I can't be expected to keep up with it.
Yep, definitely different. This looks like it'll take ages to fix.
That's it! They're already at the altar. I shall be taking my leave. Somebody else can hand out the vol au vents.
With the noise and waddling motion of a cranky goose, Mrs. Craddock strode across the grand hall, through a doorway, and out of sight.
Alright, can I rub this on the chalk?
Like a guilty schoolchild held back after class, I rubbed down the chalkboard.
You don't need all of it, you just need some chalk.
And came away with the flag covered in chalk dust.
Alright, into the gree-gree
I
you
placed
go.
the chalk dust covered flag into the gree-gree.
Let's see, anything down here I might want? Like, will I finally be able to grab something from those boxes?
I considered looking through the boxes, but doubted my immediate situation needed a set of matching crockery or monogrammed dish towels. I already had a firework, I didn't need another.
So weird, like, did I look through those boxes before and just don't remember it? Oh, is piano still here?
Walking back into the conservatory, I could hear the unnerving hum of electricity. The outer casing of the automaton had been removed. Clearly, Rupert was undertaking some maintenance on it. The casings were elaborately formed sheet metal meant for the automaton, and not very useful for much else. Nope.
Disrupt it?
I didn't want to make... That didn't.
Pour some spirit water in it?
The danger sign dangling from the automaton warned of electrocution. Now it wasn't just the plants in the conservatory that were deadly, it was the statuary too. But being dead already, I decided to take the risk. I took the engraved coin from the automaton's now open hand. The gardener's hand-painted sign of a human skull surrounded by electricity bolts clearly warned me to stay away if I didn't want to get electrocuted.
Alright, so that's a coin.
The door was locked again. Now wasn't the time for a nap. Abigail had gone, and so had the final tokens of her happiness. There was nothing I could do with the tabletop. I couldn't see anything special about the phonograph's reflection. I didn't have the time or tools to remove the wooden planks. I picked up the horn. Abigail had no need for it anymore.
What about over here?
You're not going to get away with this, Rackham.
Is he in the trunk again?
The trunk was empty.
Guessing these are all locked.
The door was locked again. Would you like your ear trumpet back?
It's no use. I can't hear a blasted thing you say. I wish I had my ear trumpet back.
I'll take that as a yes.
Oh, thank you, my boy. I suppose now that Foskett's not here, I can enjoy a little peace again.
Why aren't you at the ceremony?
The ceremony?
I think everybody's gone through to the ballroom for the wedding.
Well, I didn't hear an announcement.
I wondered why. Would you like me to top off your drink?
Oh, yes, my boy. Good plan. I meant to save it for the toast, but who can blame a man when such temptation is right in front of him?
Let's go back to the ballroom.
Just as
Being made of silver, the engraved coin was just right for going into the gree-gree.
bond now be eternally sealed.
I poured the rum from the Colonel's glass into the gree-gree. That was the final ingredient. Now I just needed one more thing, an image of the focus. And this time, the focus was going to be me. I remembered the photograph of me that had been taken earlier that night, still privately tucked away inside the captain's license. I folded it up and placed it inside the gree-gree, knowing that it would work perfectly to direct the spell towards its focus, my own body. So the spell was ready. Now it was time to confront Rackham.
Wedding Crasher, make an objection.
If anyone can show just cause why these two may not lawfully be wed, speak now or forever hold your peace.
She doesn't love him.
You meddlesome fool! I am her groom. I will marry her.
Rackham has been using dark magic. The bride is under a love spell, and he's possessed my body for this wedding.
Your claims are the ravings of a madman. Foskett, resume the ceremony at once.
Yes. Then, by the power vested in me...
You've underestimated me for the last time, Rackham. If you won't return to me what is mine, I have the power to take it. Within the focus what may hide, this spell will soon reveal.
I now declare you... husband and wife.
Murphy, I'm back. We're married.
No! No!
You may now kiss the bride.
You fool! You've destroyed everything!
I've saved everything, including the one I love. But there is one thing that needs to be destroyed, Rackham, and that's you.
Could he have done that, like, any time, though? Like, even if, like, the wedding went through and, you know, her and his body possessed were married, like, couldn't he have just opened that afterwards and still booted him out and taken the body? Because, like, she's married to Murphy. She's not married to Rackham. So, presumably, you know, legally, what matters is a corporeal form of the person and not necessarily the spirit.
The Coffin Stone's power was to steal life, and I didn't want to take what Abigail had left of hers.
No fun. Could I have a funny alternate ending? Anyone else? No?
Murphy, now that we're married, the power of the stone is yours too.
And for once, it'll be used for good.
No.
Rackham, be gone.
I knew you'd do it, Murphy. Do you remember now?
I can't believe I ever forgot you.
I knew you'd come back. Even if just for a final goodbye.
Goodbye? Why goodbye?
The spell is broken. The ghosts of the house are able to move on.
And as I looked around us, I saw each ghost in the audience fading away as they passed over to the spirit realm, each with a grateful smile. With the heartbreaking realization, I knew Abigail would be next.
Murphy, I think I have to go with them now.
I can't lose you again, Abigail.
It was worth it to see you one last time. You freed me. Thank you, Murphy.
You can just kill
for
yourself
everything.
again, dude.
No, I won't let this be the end.
Just kill yourself again. Like, find another tree.
Stay with me, Abigail.
I wish I could, Murphy.
Stay with me, Abigail.
I wish I could, Murphy.
That wasn't going to help. The coffin stone glowed green with the stolen years of Rackham's life. For once in a lifetime of evil, Rackham could do something good. The coffin stone captures a person's remaining years, and now it holds Rackham's. Abigail, I give them to you. You're back.
Just like you came back for me. Nothing could keep us apart. Not even death.
33 years without you. I never thought I'd be able to hold you again.
33 years stuck in this house. Come on, Murphy. Let's go see the sunrise.
So, like, Murphy's now loaded, because he inherits, like, everything here. What are they celebrating?
So how does it feel being a treasure hunter?
It would have been easier if I'd remembered what the treasure was this whole time. All those dreams I had of a treasure calling out to me from this house, it wasn't $13 million. It wasn't even the coffin stone. It was you. You were the treasure.
And you found me.
Why did nobody tell me who I was from the beginning?
Why did nobody tell me who I was from the beginning?
You couldn't just be told you're in love with someone you don't recognize. You needed to remember it yourself. I knew it would happen eventually.
Why did nobody living recognize me?
Rackham had all kinds of powers I'm not sure we'll ever understand. For years, he'd been trying to erase all memories of you. His plan relied on it. To everyone else, you became just a blur. How could anyone really make the leap to realize you're a reincarnation from 30-something years ago? You didn't even know it yourself.
Wait a minute, you can't be just told that you're in love with someone from 30 years ago you didn't recognize, because Rackham did that. Now, how'd I come back?
How did I come back from the spirit realm?
Don't you remember?
No, I remember the moment I died, and then the earliest memories of this new life I've been living, but nothing in between.
Madame Planchette told me that spirits can come back if their ties to the mortal realm remain strong enough. But even she doesn't know more than that. Who knows if we'll ever find out?
Just a writer's way of saying don't worry about it.
What happened to all the ghosts in the house?
They'll all have crossed over now. So many years of life destroyed by Rackham's deeds. And he didn't even need the coffin stone to do it. The spirits no longer had much to keep them here in the mortal realm anymore. They'll be happier that way. And we all end up there eventually.
In some cases, we come back.
So like, you know, that priest guy, is there like a heaven and hell, or is everyone like just in the same place?
What happened to Rackham?
I don't know, but I hope his spirit was destroyed. I'd hate to think it's moved on to the spirit realm. All I do know is that we don't have to worry about him here anymore.
What are we going to do with the coffin stone?
It stayed safe in the vault for over 30 years. For now, perhaps that's where we should return it to. I think it's our duty now to watch over it, to make sure it never falls into evil hands.
Again.
Well, maybe like somewhere else where it can't contaminate, you know, the water in the area.
So, this is the end of our adventure.
This is only the beginning, Murphy. It took a bit longer than we expected, but we're married now, after all these years.
The rest of our lives are ours again.
Till death do us part.
And even longer than that.
Technically just the rest of Rackham's for her, but you know, whatever. Why did your eyes glow green? Death do us part, complete the game. Alright, how's Foolish Mortals? I liked it. If I could kind of go back and do something different, I think I would have the dynamic hints on for just a little bit more frequent. It would be nice, I think, if it handled things like, say, Kathy Rain handled things, where like, if an area is no longer going to be relevant to where you're going, it's just like grayed out or whatnot. Although all the, you know, various areas did usually come up for the for at least two of the three, you know, brothers, which I thought was pretty nice. So even if you think you'd never have to go back to a place, there's still usually something left. There were a few things that were like, kind of, I don't want to say pixel hunting, but like very easy to miss. Like the rope for towing the bells, or tolling the bells, just seemed to blend in with the background. And I found it peculiar that, like, some things, it has the icon saying that you can interact with it, but other things, like the billiard table, it's just the eye icon. So there's a little bit of inconsistency in regards to that. I did like the song the jazz band sang. This one. Voice acting was okay. The environment's varied enough. One thing that the sequel to Kathy Rain did, which I think would be nice for just about any point-and-click game, is to have like a button or something you press on the keyboard that reveals these are the objects you can interact with, and you don't have to like move the mouse around trying to spot them. But yeah, I'd be, you know, interested in playing another game by these developers. I just hope that if they do make another game, or if they did make another game, that they don't have those fucking puppets in it, because that was obnoxious. And it was kind of a thing that's always gonna be there in the background until you finally resolve it. And it's the only thing like that too. Like everything else is pretty damn silent. Here's all the Kickstarter backers who may or may not be, more satisfied than the ones who kickstarted back Scorn. I don't know, maybe James Morel Hemming is just furious and feels ripped off, who knows. I will say the writing, they seem to try and make like a joke out of almost every dialogue. A few of the jokes actually were funny enough to elicit a chuckle though. So, not a lot of games can really do that. I just gotta wonder, after kind of screwing over literally everyone throughout the town, how well is he gonna be received afterwards? If he goes to, people in the captain's club, are they gonna, have something to say about him replacing one of the billiard balls with a rubber ball, and then the fact that the trophy is just gone. It's probably decimated when it impacted those rocks. Or Zen or Zuck or Vader always having to wait till the end to see their name. I will also say this, all of the achievements are hidden, which includes, story achievements and, ones that are missable by not doing all the dialogue. Not that one. This one, I think, should have been visible, from the get-go, just in case that's something you really want to go for, and means deliberately not utilizing one of the game mechanics, which is a hint system. And also, is it just the hint system from the journal, or if Murphy, pipes up and says, "Oh, I think there's something useful in the garden," would that count?